Welcome back to the Food City Center, and we are about to start the set number 3. So far, our score is 2-0 so far. If we win this set, then we won the match, and yeah.
And also taking really smart, high, clean shots that haven't allowed that UCLA block to get going.
Yeah, just 2 blocks for UCLA through 2 sets. The Bruins hit 349 in set 2 and lost the set. Tennessee hit 372 in that second set. Lady Vols playing their 3rd straight top 25 opponent. They lost their opener in front of a record-breaking crowd at Food City Center to Tennessee before. Then they lost at Louisville on Sunday. Those are 2 top 10 teams, and now taking on 25th ranked UCLA. On top 2-0 as we head to set number 3 in Knoxville.
Don't you feel like this is a Tennessee team? If they can just hold on here in the preseason, their September and really their first half of October are pretty winnable. This is a once they get into SEC play, things are going to calm down just a bit for them, and I think they're also going to start to find themselves with such a young roster. So I think if they can just make it through this difficult time right now, this is a team that could peak at the right time. They're going to have some opportunities to make a run there, I believe, early in conference play, and then they're going to hit a 5-game stretch where they're going to have the likes of Georgia and Auburn and Kentucky and Florida, and then we're going to see what they're made up at that point.
Well, it's interesting because you mentioned this before. You would think with such a new-look team coming off an outstanding season, maybe you want to ease into the season. But even from Watson, the schedule is intentional. She wanted to learn as quickly as possible where they needed to improve. They learned some very hard, quick lessons from Louisville and from Penn State. And she didn't expect to go 2-0, but I think she was happy that that's the stuff that shows up on film. Like, look, these are things we've been talking about, and this is what happened, and listen, let's do this, and let's correct it. We've seen those corrections.
And we are underway in set number 3.
It's even greater if you can go out and execute the corrections. And we've definitely seen that tonight from Tennessee. First contact much cleaner in this match from what we have seen from them in the first 2 matches.
This is the first lead for UCLA tonight. And it comes off a service error. At this point, to take whatever you can get if you're playing on the road. Once again, that's been the case for the Bruins to start the season, and it's back-to-back points for UCLA to get things going here in this 3rd set. Brooklyn Briscoe, who we did not see in the first 2 sets, the freshman out there to start things here in the 3rd.
UCLA certainly 3 deep in the middle. They have options. Briscoe is a redshirt freshman out of San Diego. They say that they have a 3-headed monster in the middle, and she is that 3rd head of that monster. And she's really dynamic at the net. I think her presence could bring some blocking numbers for them.
Well, something has changed here for UCLA because they are on a run to start this 3rd set. Briscoe got the block. Kate Riley gets the ace. It's 3-0 UCLA here in the 3rd. Another good one from Riley.
What is going?
Another point for UCLA. All Bruins here in the opening minutes of set 3. All of a sudden, things feel a little lighter on that Bruin bench and on the floor.
And this is a coach who, there are coaches who talk about their depth, and yet they're afraid to make changes in match. Coach Reft is not one of those. We have seen him continue to make adjustments from set to set.
There's the defense at the net. Kerr picks it off of the net. Popped over by Briscoe. Pack goes to the left side. Pack sets the middle. Just going to drop in 2 UCLA players.
And we're on the board.
Just watched helplessly as it hit the floor, and Tennessee has their first point of the set.
Hayden Kubik plays a really nice middle back for Tennessee, and she's being asked to do a lot for this team, so sometimes you take it for granted. But that was a nice dig. You saw then Kerr was able to send it to the outside. A quality swing from Chapman, that time from the left pin. And unfortunately, it's another one of those long rallies. We had one earlier. Great defensive moves on both sides of the court, and then some missing communication.
Wow.
I like this move to go to Briscoe here in the third set. The physicality, I think her athleticism, try to match that of Granberry there at the net. She's a high flyer, and it's just a nice tip shot. She's up in the air, ready to go, really dynamic movements.
Just mentioned it, we talked about it earlier, be ready when your number is called. It may only be for 3 plays, but you're expected to contribute, and we saw that from Brooklyn Briscoe to start the set. Tennessee gets the point back to make it 5-2.
That time Hayden Kubik straight to the floor, and I can't say enough about how patient she's been throughout this match, and I know the coaches are going to be happy with that. Just allowing the match to come to her, not trying to create shots that aren't there. We've seen her with all sorts of different angles, the tip shot, and that time just a big power swing.
She was really good in set 2. There's a miss hit by Sheridan Leverett, a point for Tennessee. Kubik was really good in that second set. She's up to 9 kills in the match and hitting 368. That's a huge improvement. We talked about her numbers before. The numbers are the numbers. 4 kills, 9 errors on 27 swings last time out. So this is a good response by the junior from Iowa. That's down and a point for UCLA.
On both sides of the net right now, it sure does feel like a lot of tip shots are scoring. And credit to the players here this time, a great job of getting on top of this ball. Even though it's a tip shot, moving it around there. But both sides of the net, it seems like the defenses here in set 3 have sort of settled back on their heels, ready to defend the big swing. And all of a sudden, these tip shots are falling in front of them.
Grace Olsen serves for the Bruins. It's a service error. That's number 8 for UCLA.
Grace Olsen unique in that we've seen her play on the left pin at Georgia Tech. She moved over to the left pin when Leverett was having those cramps. She plays on the right side. She's a player they'll leave in across the court. Again, just a really complete volleyball player.
On the slide, dug out by Chapman. Vic goes for a little tip. That's into the net, a point for Tennessee.
Again, that's an easy tip shot that time by Hayden Kubik. She's well off the net. She has to put some air under the ball just to get it over the blockers. Very easy to pick up. That's not one you necessarily want to convert into an error there. That's a free ball situation for UCLA.
Shot by Chapman. That's down and a point for UCLA's Leverett. Her 12th kill of the match. That leads all players.
Caroline Kerr in the front row for Tennessee, so a smaller blocker up there. And coaches told us she may be small, but she's actually pretty disciplined. We don't worry about her too much in the front row. But that time, Leverett gets the best of her as she's able to throw one off that outside hand. That's something Coach Eve Rackamwatt talked to us about, the fact that those pin blockers are just in the collegiate game. They're exposed so quickly. And with her young team, she felt like that was definitely an issue the first weekend, that and first contact. And boy, have we seen huge improvements in both those areas.
Kubik. Everything dropping in tonight for Hayden Kubik into double figures now with 10 kills.
Showing great range, great court awareness, just placing this ball straight down the line, deep into the corner, really well played.
Ten kills, 9 digs for Kubik, hitting 381, now serving. Slide in the block for Tennessee.
पुलिस मेरी काविश आप लोगों के लिए फायदेमंद साबित हुई है तो वीडियो को लाइक करें चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें अपडेट देखने और एक इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियो तब तक के लिए
I think this is an easy read for the blocker.
We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity.
Is against the flow when you're getting pulled into the opposite side of the court or in a situation where that you're able to hold the blockers.
Tennessee got rid by Pack twice with the center kill, not that time. A quick little set there. Good job by Pack, mixing things up a little bit to get the point.
A good block this time by Tennessee. They again tried to go after the hands of Caroline Kerr. Not going to happen that time. They get her once, but not twice. And then that off speed again to the floor.
Drops it in for Tennessee.
The The no look by Caroline Kerr. She is just absolutely one of the best in the business. She's an elite setter, sees the game so well. Coach told us, Coach Eve Rackham-Watt told us that coaching is in her future. And boy, don't you feel like she'll be a good one. The way she plays this game, the way she sees this game, her competitiveness.
Sometimes you got to remind yourself she's just a redshirt sophomore. She had a tremendous year last year. She just seems like she's been around a long time. At 56 assists against Texas in that NCAA matchup. UCLA gets the point and retakes the lead.
Little gamesmanship here between the setters as Pack is right back at Tennessee. Second ball over on her.
Audrey Pack back to serve for the Bruins. Kerr works it to Granberry. That's out of play. And a point for Tennessee to tie it at 9.
Granberry really the only offense returning for this Tennessee team, and that is why there's such a premium on ball control. In order to get your middles involved, you have to have a good first pass. Now, the good news for Eve Rackham-Watt, as you see there, is the fact that her setter is very aggressive and not afraid to push the ball to the middle. So if you can get Caroline Kerr anywhere around the 3-meter line, that keeps Granberry in play.
Kerr calls for it. Challenge from distance.
Quality second contact and an out-of-system ball here. Great communication by Kerr to call off the other Tennessee player and then to hang that up in a window here. Look at this, good communication, and then she puts it in a window where Chaich can still take a nice approach and swing at that ball over her shoulder.
Beautiful set by Kerr, now with 28 assists, and she has spread the wealth. 10 kills for Kubik, 9 for Chaich, 9 for Chapman, 5 for Granberry in the middle. Dug out but out of play, and a point for UCLA.
Briscoe again, 4 there in the middle, making her debut here in the third set and quickly making her presence felt.
Similar to that Georgia Tech matchup, she didn't start that Georgia Tech match, but she finished. And again, it's not necessarily who starts, but who's on the end for the Bruins that we've seen so far against Georgia Tech and perhaps here against Tennessee. Chaich showing some athleticism, hanging in the air and getting the kill for Tennessee.
She has to pass first, and what a great serve there by Riley of UCLA. She actually played 4 years of beach volleyball at Stanford. Look at that driving serve, trying to take Chaich off her offensive game, but a little give and go action. She's right back on it.
Service error, and she again risk reward with that big serve. Service error number 5 for the Lady Vols.
I just can't say enough good things about Caroline Kerr. I know I'm a setter, but I look at these numbers. Only 1 attack error here in this third set. Tennessee hitting 500. You mentioned the diversity of offense, the way she's spreading the ball. 3 players in double-digit kills. Another for Chapman. And now, as I talk about it, that is her 10th. So now
That's
3 players, double-digit
right.
kills for Tennessee and Caroline Kerr. Wow, that's hard to do as a setter, to have that sort of diversity and that sort of success. So she's not just getting equal looks for those attackers, but she's putting them in positions to be successful all across the net. And with a young team like this, her delivery and her ability to put them in the best place to be successful is just so important.
Why is that so challenging? Why is it hard? We don't see it so often.
Oh.
Where you see 3 in double figures for one team. Is it
because
you're
I
just
think-
dealing with different personalities, different connections, and just
And I
different...
think Eric, as a setter, you can become a little bit consumed with this equality. Like everyone, I want to make sure all the weapons are each taking 20 attempts, and I want to have this balanced attack. And there's this, you can get lost in that. And you can be so worried about spreading it from pin to pin that maybe you take a look later and think, wow, this attacker wasn't even really successful. So while I got her the ball, I didn't get it to her in good situations. And I think what speaks so highly right now is to see that all of them have 10 kills apiece. So she's not just spreading it around, but she's doing it at the right time for them to have the success they're having with that even of a distribution. It's just incredible.
UCLA back-to-back points, back in front. Up by 1 here in the third set, down 2 sets to Tennessee.
And neither of these teams has flinched here in set 3.
Bruins with their backs against the wall after dropping the first 2 sets. They need to win this one to keep the match going. Tennessee looking for their first victory of the season. 0-2 coming in. UCLA 2-0. Service error ties it at 13.
At UCLA 2-0, you alluded to it earlier, but a win over Georgia Tech, a highly ranked win for them. And yet it was just, the scores were so curious, those lopsided sets, that you still wondered, who is this UCLA team? So we're still figuring out, who are they?
Back row attack, dug out by UCLA. Pack to the Reds. Good in by Tennessee. The defense outstanding. At the net and in the back row for the Lady Vols. Eckler with the dig.
Great dig in the backcourt by Eckler to keep this alive. And then this isn't just any block. Guess what? This is Caroline Kerr, the setter. 1-on-1 comes up with the big block. And I'll tell you what, Hayden Kubik sent a very easy ball over the net. But that was the right choice in that moment. Extend the rally, trust your defense, and it results in a point.
UCLA ties it at 14. Bruins being out hit in this set, 312 to 143, but they got off to that strong start, scored the first 4 points of this set. They've been going back and forth since Tennessee chipped away at that lead. Back row attack, Chaich, good dig by Dewitt. Kerr pumps it. That one's going to go long. Was it touched? It was. A touch on UCLA. It's a point for Tennessee, and that gets us to a media timeout. Tennessee
All right, we are going to media timeout and
Center up by 1 in the third.
see if we can make a first win of the season as our home opener.